Just mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got J. Mitch. We got Jackie Boy.
He tried to jump up and he might have knocked it in.
Good timing. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys would come in and say,
Oh, God.
So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in the headlock, and he's sitting there. Helmet. He's punching me in the stomach, like steady punching me.
Here, and there's everyone sitting around. Who here thinks Ovchinko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's been with the team 6 minutes for 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ovchinko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. I fucking saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
Be on the spirit plane.
Well, I want to have that. But you had the circus or something.
6'3", I'm waiting. Like, I don't even know what I'd be doing.
now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle?
My dad tell you about it?
The SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? And it's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they're
all fatter than I am.
Players, look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants. Hello, welcome back to Mike Up. Today is Friday, August 18th. We are live from Cards and Culture, and again, it is a beautiful Friday. We are excited to be here. It is Feel Good Friday. Have a big show for you today. Lloyd, can we get the screen up just a tad so my head doesn't get cut off?
I was just doing that actually right now.
Okay, I love that. I'm just, keeping
I don't want to box you in. I want you to
keeping
feel
you on the P's and Q's,
I want you to feel unencumbered.
We got a great show today. It's going to be a
Brace that
loosey-goosey,
face.
light Friday show. A lot to talk about. Sports world never sleeps. Week 2 of preseason football started last night with the Eagles against the Browns. Quarterback that we are all familiar with because of what happened in L.A., the first game of the season a few years ago, is I forget his initials. What's his initials?
DTR.
DTR has been balling out. He's supposedly a third-string quarterback for the Browns, but he's been doing a lot of really good things, and they ended up ending in an 18-18 tie. I'm talking about this because week 2 of preseason football started yesterday, and it's football season, and it's Friday, and there's really not that much going on in the sports world, but stuff that is going on, we are going to get to. Running through these Heineken headlines, LSU football has their first, or really their biggest scrimmage of August tomorrow morning. Within that, this is the last time that it is the last open media practice of the season, right?
False.
That's what they.
I know. I took it out the headline. I took it off the ticker. But you didn't hear Jack when he came in and said they have taken away the media's privilege to be able to film the first 15
No, but
minutes.
it's not.
You could be
You
there.
literally miss. This is the last open practice.
Oh, yeah, duh. Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't matter if you're media or not, really. They'll be able to, but you're not going to see any film from it, is what I was devoted to make sure that people understood. Nobody can film. You can go there.
So no, you can't. This is the last practice you can go to. That's open. It's the last open practice.
Yeah. But they're usually allowed to film the first 15 minutes. They're not
I don't
allowed.
give a shit about the filming part. I'm talking about the last open practice that nobody else, no media is going to be able to go to these practices anymore after this Saturday.
No, you got to
That's my
start,
point.
start looking through the fence again.
I mean,
Yeah, my
that's what I'm
bad.
trying to get at. This is not open. This is the last big scrimmage, which means, that's what I was trying to get to, which means after this week, LSU is going to start preparation for Florida State. That is what this means. That means that you're not allowed to show up at practice because there's things that they're going to implement and start working on for the first game of the season. But that is this weekend. I think practice starts at 10. I'd imagine the scrimmage probably starts around 11. All the alumni are eligible or invited to go. So, Jared, you're going to be there, right?
Yeah, that's the plan right now. Yeah, we'll see.
You'll be there. Jack, you'll be there. No filming, though. No filming. You can go there and just write notes and come in.
He's got a photographic memory. He'll just
Do you?
play it back like Minority Report.
Wow,
and,
some
you
would
and
say
Ross?
being in thermodynamics and what's the other one? Yeah, what is that?
Is it Ross from Suits? Is that his name, Ross? Mike Ross. Photographic memory?
Prison.
That would be great to have photographic memory. Like if I had a photographic
it's
memory.
a blessing and a curse.
No, what do you mean? Where's the curse?
I hate remembering everything, yeah.
Oh, definitely not a curse.
What if something bad happened? You have to remember it forever. Can't forget it.
If something bad happened, and you saw it, you're gonna remember it forever anyway.
I don't think I've ever heard of anyone thinking like, "Hey, a photographic memory would be bad." Lloyd's the only person
one.
ever.
That's the biggest pessimist we have.
No, there wasn't negative. He got banned for counting cars on accident.
It's okay.
His mind just works that way.
Just got to travel a little further and go to the next one that you're not banned. on.
They got a picture of you. Yeah.
That's fine. Then you go to the underground shit, and then actually don't go. You're probably dead if you do that.
Yeah, I'm banned from
You
all
gotta try to
MGM
do
properties. It's not a big deal.
Well, no, you just start losing hands on purpose.
Yeah.
That's all.
In other football news, we're going to really go through the LSU. We talked a little bit about on Wednesday about what we want to see, who we want to see. They came out with an article about players that have impressed throughout the course of the first 2 weeks of practice. A lot of guys that we have hit on. We're going to get into that. We're going to have more conversation about the football world and about what we want to see and what to expect from LSU football. But around college football, a lot of things are starting to happen. Auburn announces their starting quarterback in Peyton Thorne. He's a transfer from Michigan State. Your boy Ashford, Robbie Ashford, who's
Whose boy?
not your boy, people's boys. Robbie Ashford,
Man of the people.
man of the people, is super athletic. I'd imagine there's probably a position change happening for him at some point because he's so dynamic of an athlete. They want the ball in his hands. He lost a starting job to another transfer, new regime. He's probably going to get on the field. I'm saying this because this directly affects LSU because this is an opponent that LSU is going to play this season. So they come up with their starting quarterback. There is a kerfuffle in Colorado with their team, and Deion Sanders, who is now the head coach of Colorado, is in the news for being very upset, not because they got in a fight, but because the guys on the team did not all participate in the fight. And some people who have not been around sports very often, or some people who have not been in that situation, may look at that and say, wow, Deion, can't believe you are promoting violence and you're promoting fighting and this is not good and that's whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, you're wrong, right? I don't think Deion is promoting violence. Actually, I know that he is not promoting violence. He is promoting being part of a team, right? If one guy does something, the guys that are your boys and that's your team, you better back him up. That is part of being a team, right? Hey, if somebody is going to be in something, you come to their defense and you back them up on the field. That is more of the point that he is making, and we're going to get into that. Some people don't like that. I am all for it. I think that is, it's part of it. It's part of it. It's part of it. That's all part of it. Saints play their second preseason game in LA this weekend, maybe. Actually, maybe. Supposed to be. There is a hurricane.
Saints brought the home field advantage.
And there's no hurricane in the Gulf, or maybe down deep down, but not right now coming here. It's threatening right now, not threatening Louisiana. There is a hurricane threatening LA. That doesn't happen ever, right? The Pacific Ocean is very cold, so usually the hurricanes don't really make it to shore in LA. Well, there's a hurricane right now, is a Category 4 in the ocean. They say it's going to, not be as strong as it hits land. It's probably going to be a tropical storm. NFL came out, as they always do, and say we are not planning on moving games or making adjustments to the schedule because it's the NFL, and somehow it always works out for them. But the Saints are there. They've had joint practices. The reports from joint practices are that they are dominating. The receiving core for New Orleans is doing balling out against that super expensive secondary they have in LA. We're going to get into that. And the last part of – actually, no, I'm not even going to say this because that's my curtain call.
Oh.
I'm not going to say it. So we're done with those. That
Well, I'll say it. Yeah.
that is those are the Heineken headlines. Like I
Tell me you
said,
want to talk about.
there's a lot to go on there. There's plenty to talk about. But a lot of it is going to be conjecture, and a lot of it's going to be our opinions. And it's not a lot of things are happening, not necessarily facts are happening. It's just sports. Sports are starting to ramp up. We talked about this. October is the best sports month of the year, I believe. It's about to be next weekend. Next Saturday is the first game of college football, right? So that's right around the corner. Preseason football is well underway. You're going to start seeing starters play a lot more in the next couple weeks, and then it's over. So it's happening, boys. It's happening.
16 days away
16 days away.
for the Tigers. Name is
The
16.
Danny Etling.
Oh, that's the one. I mean, he's a good quarterback.
Give me another 16.
Craig Stones.
I talked to Craig
I
yesterday.
know that. I was trying to tee you
I
up.
know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm sorry. I talked to him for a while yesterday. I'd like to get Craig
Guess
on the
football
show.
didn't come up.
Huh?
Guess football didn't
It did come up. He said he's going to be there this weekend.
Yeah.
He said he's going to the games. Or the game. Not games. The game.
What game's this weekend?
Scrimmage.
The one you're going to.
Oh, damn it,
fake
it's
game.
Friday, huh? I forgot it's
The fake
Friday.
game. The exhibition game.
We
I was
went
like, wait,
last
what are you
year.
talking about?
I did go. I did not know. It was hot.
And then it rained.
What did you see last year?
This is why Jared Mitchell should be almost forced to go because we got a lot of insight from him watching practice.
And this is
But
why
now
you
he's
should
pretending like
This
he
is
doesn't
why
wanna
you should watch us because we're not just baseball guys.
May
We
know a little
understand
bit.
football. We may know a little bit about the foosball. Why don't
Yeah.
you tell us what you saw last year?
Last year? What happened last year? I do remember seeing.
There was one player in particular that
Yeah,
you
but
said, oh, wow.
I do remember seeing Mason Taylor play, and I was like, he's going to be a big factor in the offense, and probably was the biggest factor and the biggest win of the season last year. So, kind of, predicted that one a little bit. I forgot what else.
Speaking of Mason Taylor, they said that he looks way better. Not way better. I mean, he was good last year.
Yeah,
But they
yeah.
said he's made huge jumps to make it the next level as a tight end. He's gotten stronger. His blocking ability has become a lot better, and he has an understanding of the offense a lot more. So, he was a threat in the passing game last year, but they're saying he's getting open a lot more. He understands schemes a lot better, and they're expecting him to take a big jump. Now, he may not take the big jump that I said he was going to take and getting 850 yards receiving and that whole stuff, but they have come out with a report saying that he looks really good. He looks stronger. He looks more developed, and that's what you would expect in year two in a program like LSU, right? You're going to get bigger, you're going to get faster, you're going to get stronger, and if you're willing to learn the offense, then you would imagine that you'd have a better grasp of the schemes and what they're trying to do offensively.
To put a kind of bow on the Mason Taylor conversation, I don't think people realize.
Put a bow on it?
Yeah, but I don't think people realize what he actually did last year when LSU had little to no help in the tight ends room, and you put pressure on a tight end that has never really played at this level. Clearly, all you saw was what he could do in spring and fall, and then you get into a situation where you have to start a freshman, but then you only had Cole Taylor and Jack Smashburn.
I think not only what he did for LSU, but I do think if you talking going from high school ball to college ball and then going from college ball to professional ball, that's the one position that is so damn hard to have immediate success, because what you're used to blocking and seeing and going against at that spot from level to level is just completely different, right? Like, and so for him to be able to face what he faced and saw what he saw in high school and then come to college ball and be able to day one, hit the ground running is impressive. And it's the same thing. This is why you ever think about it. Like, just in your mind right now, start replaying tight ends who you've seen in the NFL. They're in year one have extreme success. It's not easy. Even the ones that go really high now, it's not a very easy thing. So it's impressive that he did what he did last year. It should be interesting to see kind of how he progresses. I'll be honest with you, though. This may be an unpopular opinion, but it is my opinion.
That's all that matters.
I am not super sold on, and no, please don't take this the wrong way.
I'm going to take it the wrong way.
But I'm not super sold on the running back room.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you.
In the sense of every good team that I've seen, like 1 to 2, maybe even a third one touching the field. But when we're floating 4 different names out here who we expect to see on the field, you're almost telling me that I don't have a dog or 2 that are like the dudes.
And here's my, not rebuttal, because I do agree with you. I'm not sold, right? Because having that many running backs doesn't mean that you're going to have a great running back room, because you just have a lot of guys that do a lot of good things, but is someone going to put it together? I think that some of these guys that are hurt, that have been banged up, hopefully somebody takes the reins whenever it gets closer to the season. Hey, this guy's going to be a starter, and maybe they are just using this as like they're coming out and reporting this, or like, Brian Kelly keeps talking about all these guys, but he, in the back of it, that he may know, okay, this is our guy, right? Like, this is the guy that we're going to have the bell cow, whatever. But until that happens, until you see that, I'm with you. Like, yeah. I don't know, and I'm not saying it's not going to happen.
Like,
but
yeah, like I can even go back to the times when it was like think about the times you've seen. I'm thinking about Alabama when they had Derrick Henry as a 3, and you knew for sure he wasn't touching the field because they had 2 dogs in front of him, right? Like, everybody was like
Brian Robinson.
Exactly. Guys get like, usually when you see really good running back rooms, like legit running back rooms, there's probably 4 or 5 dudes in there who are legit, but numbers 4 and 5, they just, bro, I'm here right now. I ain't touching the field.
Yeah, special teams is going to be for me this year.
When Stephen Ridley came here as a freshman, he knew he wasn't touching the field because the running back room was really, really, really good. Like, there wasn't going to be any snaps and any carries for him at that time. Right. And it's, like, that's what historically, if you're looking at good running back rooms, that's what you see. So when we're over here throwing 4 names in the pot right now, I'm like, all right, and it's not, like I said, it's not to say that they're bad. It's just that you're telling me that we don't really have anyone that's dynamic playmaking right now, unless, like you said, the guys that are hurt are the ones that have really stepped up and kind of pushed themselves ahead. And we'll find out once the season kicks off.
I would imagine to start the season, you're going to see Logan Diggs, you're going to see Josh Williams, and you're going to see Noah Kane as those 3 guys that are going to get majority of the carries.
I mean, yeah, majority, but you're not. But that's like also still telling me that John Emery's not going to touch the ball at all, and he's not going to be on the field. There's not, there, you know what I mean? Like, can you tell me that you think that's going to happen? I don't.
Right.
I think he's going to get on the field
right.
at least some.
You're right.
So if we got 4 guys that's on the field, man, that's a lot.
Well, Josh Williams has been banged up a little bit, right?
Yeah,
he hasn't played a ton. And, like, look, he was probably our most complete running back last year, and that came out of nowhere, right?
I would agree.
So I get that.
Yeah.
They say Noah Kane.
And you still didn't even mention Armani Goodwin.
Right. He's still been a little bit banged up. Like, they say he's been, like, working back and, like, doing more stuff. I think him and Trey Bradford are the 2 guys that they're going to have to, like, really prove it. Like, they're going to have to get in there with, like, maybe some spurts and, like, have to show some flashes to earn some. I'm not expecting those guys in the first 3 weeks of the season to get a ton of looks.
Yeah.
They may get, a couple, like, flash plays here and there, and if they do something well, like, oh, damn, okay, let's give them a little bit more, maybe, right? But they say Noah Kane's lost some weight. He looks a lot quicker than he did last year. You know that he's very reliable in the goal line.
Best shape of his life.
Huh?
Best shape of his life.
What did I tell y'all? Best shape of his life. Man, he's faster, quicker, he's stronger. He's ready. He's got a great grasp of the offense now,
He wants to be more dynamic, lost weight.
He's very experienced in college football. So, like, I'm comfortable with him having the ball. Him and Logan Diggs, to me, are probably the safest bets to be the two guys that get the most carries right now. Josh Williams was great. I think what Josh Williams brings in the pass protection is worth noting because he has not been shy of sticking his nose in there in pass pro and he's not going to change, right? So I think that also puts him always in the mix of playing, right? Because of that ability, especially with the fact that we're trying to throw the ball down the field a lot more. They say Jaden Daniels, obviously the grasp of the offense is there, but they're saying they say the efficiency of it has been really good. He's been in and out of huddles, in and out, like understands the playbook, understands where he needs to go with it, and he's been more willing to throw the ball down the field. Obviously, this is practice. Things have changed a little bit in the game.
He's in the best shape of his life.
Best shape of his life.
Put on 15 pounds.
Everybody's in the best shape of their life.
Yeah, can't believe it.
It's great. It's going to be a good off-season program.
Mm-hmm.
But
catapult.
But you have him taking that next step, and to take that next step, you're going to need to make sure he's protected, right? In that protection, obviously Will Campbell is a first-round pick. Like, he's going to be a first-round pick, and not this year, obviously, but next year. They say he has just elevated his game. They say he's lost a one-on-one battle all camp, right? They say he is firmly entrenched as that left tackle, All-American talent left tackle. And you can go down the offensive line. The only guy that maybe he's been solid but not elite right now is Frazier, right? And they say he's been good, but I would not be shocked if Hurd took his spot, right? Like, that means you have 5 stars as left tackle, 5 stars as the right guard, and you have a 5-star as your right tackle. Was Emory Jones?
They would bump Emory to guard and put Hurd at right tackle.
Yeah. Then even better. 2 5-stars at your tackle, and Emory Jones, was he a 5-star or a high 4-star, whatever he was? He'll be at guard. They say he looks a lot better than he did last year. As the year got on, he progressed.
Well, he wasn't even a tackle. He was brought in to play guard, and then he worked himself into the lineup as a right tackle because LSU needed him to be.
Right.
And he showed out after coming in after, I think it was 3 games where it was like he's too good to ignore.
And Dellinger came in as a high recruit, as a very high.
Played a lot of football for LSU.
Dellinger?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and he is experienced, older, and has been there and done it, and they say he looks really good. So, to me, the biggest question mark is the center, and they say every day Charles Sanders looks better and better and better and better. And so, like, for me, the center is the quarterback of the offensive line. The center helps the quarterback with protections, with all those types of things. And so it's not just, hey, are you physically capable of doing it? Are you mentally capable of doing it? And I think that goes a little bit unnoticed sometimes in that position. But the protection seems like it's going to be a lot better. So at this point, there's no excuse for us not to be able to go move the ball down the field. Now, if they start blitzing a lot more and bringing extra guys, that's when Josh Williams or the running back position comes into play and helps with some of the protection.
And that's when you'll see Jaden Daniels probably use his legs a little bit. Like, that's the thing that we haven't really talked about because you haven't wanted to talk about it. You know he can do it. Well, people have been so enamored with him throwing the football down the field that
I thought I knew somebody.
Are they trying to get in?
No.
Door's locked.
I do know that.
But you've been so enamored with Jaden Daniels trying to run down the field that you did, or throw the ball down the field, that you haven't talked about his running ability. I don't think it'll be the exact same as what you saw last year where he was getting like designed around and scrambling after 1 or 2 looks in the pocket. I think it'll be a run when you have to scenario, but when that goes into the running back room, right, where you have 8 guys on scholarship and it feels like what Jared said, nobody's really taking the reins, but the only real answer that I felt like was satisfactory, and I think Brian Kelly played it well, was saying with what we had to go through last year with the injuries at running back, we wanted to bring more into the building. All can play, all have a similar skill set and a similar role on the team that we feel comfortable plugging in at any time. I'm with you. I wish you had a bookend guy that you're like, that you want 20 carries from a game, but if you're going to play it this way and the way that the running back room has looked, you name 2 guys, both have been injured. And so for them to have depth at the position can't be a bad thing.
According to the NFL, running backs don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, you always need
get 8 of them.
You always need depth back there, but that doesn't mean they all need to actually see time from year in to year in. The one thing I'm very, very interested to see, right, like looking through notes and kind of hearing what they're talking about, is that Malik's taking a step forward and he's like a dude, right? So like not like a dude.
Did you see him come? Did you see the video of him come out and apologize? Was that him?
No, it was Major Burns.
That was Major.
Oh. Because it had eight on it. I was just.
Yeah, you got
okay,
your
yeah,
wide
yeah.
receiver one wearing a cowboy collar.
Yeah.
I didn't see the cowboy collar.
So I mean, like, I do want to see what it looks like when, in terms of like them saying he's taking a step forward. What I'm interested to see this year is like you're talking about Jaden's legs. I think if the reports are right about the number 2 and the number 3, more specifically the 3 right now, but we've seen the 2 play well in the past. I think if the reports are right about those guys being able to win one-on-ones and get open repeatedly, you may not see Jaden running too much. You know what I'm saying? When you are able to have those guys running around with the receiving tight end, we can only do so much blitzing and bringing and leaving guys one-on-one. You get what I'm saying? So you may see teams kind of be like, hey, we'll keep you in this pocket and let's just see if you can actually pick it apart and figure it out.
For sure.
Like that may be the route to trying to beat them at
and I hope that they do that, and I hope that they like. I would rather him not have to run all the time, right? I'd rather him say, okay, I am going to do this, and then when they realize, okay, damn, not only is he willing to do this, but we are losing one-on-ones on the outside with the receivers. Okay, now we need to bring pressure. That's when the offense goes to another level, right?
It's so weird to me because I think like the wave of this started with Mahomes actually, where people started realizing like, hey, like these guys are so good at improvising and these receivers are so good at taking the top off of defenses. How about we just two-shell the hell out of it and make you stay in the box and make you pick it apart, find it, and make the throw. And guys, the new wave of quarterback, if you will, is so used to being able to improvise when it's not on schedule that making them do that has been the uncomfortable part of it, right? And as opposed to the old, I guess you could say the old school quarterback at this point, the Tom Brady's, where it's literally, I'll stand on this spot right here and I'll just pick you apart. And that's the ones you wanted to get off schedule. You wanted to move. You wanted to get them out of there. And it seems like that's kind of been the new wave to getting to some of these newer quarterbacks. And I'm interested to see if that'll get to this offense.
If they start doing that, they start playing too high, and they hey, dink and dunk, which he's good at, right? He can throw the underneath. How loud is the crowd going to be yelling, throw the ball down the field? Well, you got two safeties, guy. Like, did you not watch the NFL last year when Mahomes could throw the ball 85 yards and he could throw the ball downfield, but he didn't because he couldn't? Like, there's too many people back there. Like, hey, he's seeing what the defense is doing. He's actually reading the defense the right way, and he's going to just take what they're giving us, and which is a strong suit of him last year, right? I think that if he does that, I think teams may try that, but I think that they realize, like, damn, that is what he's good at. Like the short to intermediate throws. He's going to do that. Okay, well, maybe we need to bring pressure and try to make him panic and get the ball out deeper, which I hope that's the case too. Because
especially the teams that I think it'll be more prevalent too, especially the teams that are good up front defensively. We've always known, like, if you can rush the passer with 4, you're making it really hard on the other team anyway. So I think the teams that are better up front have a better chance of trying that. But it'll be interesting to see how teams attack them, because if those other two guys, like I said, and obviously Mason and all these guys have taken steps forward like they're talking about, there's only so many people you could bring at that point.
Right.
Like, we can't leave all these guys one-on-ones
right.
like this. So
they're talking about, we talk about, Malik, and Malik's kind of taking that leadership role, and he said, hey, I'm the guy. No matter what the down and distance, no matter what the situation, that I'm going to go up there and make the play, right? And he's done that. We talked about Chris Hilton here. Some of the reports on Chris Hilton is he has been great down the field. He's a little bit limited in his route tree and the ability to run all of the routes, but he's a burner, and that's going to be his role. They say Kyron Lacey's been, as expected, solid route runner, understands what he needs to do, makes the catches. He had some drops a little bit last year. They say he looked good. He's looked good catching the football. And then you had, some of the younger guys, some of the transfers have been super dynamic, but nobody's been as consistent as Malik. And I'm extremely excited about that, because we had a number 1 come in last year, supposed to be the number 1, and just never felt like he was the number 1, and that's in Kayshawn, right? So it's nice to have a guy that is the number 1, and he's acting like the number 1 and doing the things to be the number 1. And not only is he coming in as the most talented receiver, but he's improved his game. Like, that's exciting for me to watch, right? Because that's something that you want to see last year, and you feel like you're going to see that a lot.
Hey, the thing is, too, is like we're mentioning 3 names, really, right now. We're mentioning Malik, we're mentioning Brian Thomas, and we're mentioning Kyron Lacey, because those are the older statesmen, the more experienced guys, the guys that know this offense well. But just what if? Like, what if an Aaron Anderson comes on strong? What if Shelton Sampson comes on strong?
They say he looks really good too.
Like, and what if Chris Hilton figures it out and comes on strong? Like, how quickly did we go back to being like, hey, they're deep with dudes? Like, they are deep.
Well,
with
you
dudes.
didn't even talk about Jaylen Brown and Kyle Parker, who Kyle Parker's kind of been banged up a little bit, but he's back in there. But they say, like,
He's banged up because he's been asked to do a lot.
right, like they say, like Jalen, like these guys have been like doing it. These are like, I think that
Young
LSU
dudes.
receiver room is like
It's strong.
Loaded.
Yeah.
It's strong right now.
deep, strong, and they look like they're all doing the necessary things to get on the field.
You got a
know what I
deep
mean?
QB room where obviously we're hoping that you only have to play one, right? You have a deep O-line, you have a deep receiving core, you have a deep running back room. I'm not completely sold on the top end of it, but
Right.
it's still deep, right? That's all the necessary needs to actually be able to deploy a very, very good offense, right? And how do you, if these guys can do what they're being asked to do and they can play within the scheme of the offense, when you're on the other side trying to scheme it up and how to play against them, well, who do you stop? You know?
Right, and
Like, who do
they
you
talk
stop?
about like Pimpton, right? They talk about him being super athletic. I see him being literally like when it's in the red zone time, this guy's on the field because he's gonna
Yeah.
go out there and he's gonna body.
He's
some
a matchup
guys.
nightmare.
Yeah,
you know,
and, like,
100%.
you just can't get him. Like I just don't think he's.
He may not
It's,
be.
it's
the-
hard as a tight end to go in there.
That's
and say,
my
I'm
point.
gonna jump in as
Right.
a blocking.
The
guy.
reports are is there has been a bit of a transition when it comes to actually playing within the scheme of the full offense, right? Which means for a tight end that he has to learn how to be able to block DNs and get up to the second level and do stuff like that, which is pretty normal for that spot.
Yeah.
Which goes back to what we started at, where respect what Mason Taylor did last year because it wasn't just hands. Like he was on the field all the time, and that is very hard to do at a young age at that position.
God, that had to be so stressful to
Here's
be
my-
him during that scenario. Like, you're playing week 1 against Florida State, and we don't have another option. Like, you're either going to fail on national TV, and then to see the wherewithal he had, obviously it gets kind of lost in the wash with his ability to not only catch the ball with, 8 seconds left, but be able to get out of bounds and essentially give you a shot to win the game at the end of it.
Yeah.
And that all gets kind of forgotten but that's a freshman out there in the biggest game of
Well, that's
his life
makeup,
to
too.
that point. Yeah.
I say that's called
pedigree.
growing up.
Yeah.
there you go.
That's called, hey, my dad's a Hall of Famer. I've been around the NFL a long time. Like I know what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's what that means. Here's a question, and obviously I'm not expecting anyone here to say, oh yeah, this is definitely going to happen because we're not around the practices. We aren't, the experts, but there's a receiver who was a pretty high recruit. He was a 4-star. He was an athlete, Kai Preem, right? Super athletic, can run. The reports have been you could see the athleticism is so evident on the field that he's going to get on the field somewhere. He's been a little bit inconsistent with the ability to haul in the catches. Do you see him potentially being a cornerback with a defense that's light a little bit in the cornerback position? If he's that athletic, do you see him being able to make that transition over to maybe a DB, or does he want to play receiver? I don't know. I don't know if anybody's heard anything. I don't know but when I look at everything, and I look at the guys we have in the receiver room, and the guys who have been performing, and then the guys who we have in the defensive back room or lack thereof, and I'm not saying this, he's going to play day one, but he was an athlete. He wasn't labeled as a wide receiver coming out of high school. So it seems like that could be a transition for him.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
I don't know,
It's
you know
one
what I mean?
to definitely keep an eye on.
That's out of the left field. I mean, Kai Preem was a 4-star. I know he's an athlete, but he was definitely coming in to play wide receiver. I don't think he's worked on the defensive side at all.
Oh, yeah, so is Maurice Claiborne.
Yeah, but this is, I feel like, a little bit of a different scenario where.
Okay, but let me ask that question. Let's go down the receiver list. Where is he on the depth chart of wide receivers right now?
I think he signed knowing good and well he probably wasn't going to play this year. He just wants to.
But okay, that's fine. If he wants to play, I think that if he is that athletic and he is that good and you want to get him on the field.
Hey, like you said, maybe there's a route for him to get on the field quicker that way, or I guess compete for a position to play quicker. But maybe
and I'm not saying
maybe he doesn't want to.
Corey Webster did the same thing. Guys have done that. And so and I don't want to say it came out of left field, but I'm going through the roster and I'm going through some of the stuff that I've heard or seen. I'm like, well, you know what? Yeah, he came in as a wide receiver, but maybe you get there, you realize, oh, maybe damn, okay.
Yeah, you start looking around.
Maybe I don't have, like, my hands are good, but I'm a little inconsistent. I can make the big play. I'm super athletic. Well, maybe you just flip it and you say, I'm going to go use that athleticism and play cornerback. And now that's a mindset, right? Like, it's a whole different mindset on the defensive side of the ball. But I'm just curious. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Yeah, I would think that would be that wouldn't be make a transition in the fall. 2 weeks, you play in 16 days. Like, hey, Kyprien, maybe you want to hop on the defensive side.
Well,
it would be like a project for next year.
Well, if you're not expecting him to play at all, it happens now.
Oh,
you can't.
Yeah,
if you're not expecting him to get on the field, you think he'll play?
Yeah, I think he'll play special teams, and then he'll be able to work in.
Yeah,
games
but that's
against
my point.
Grambling
Special
and
teams.
New Mexico State. He'll
Yeah,
be
but
out
special
there.
teams is special teams. Like, you could play that, do those same positions, whether you're a D-back, or DB, or receiver. So I'm saying, like, if they decide that, hey, he's probably not going to be in the mix offensively right now, maybe we should say, okay, you still do some offensive stuff, but let's start mixing in some defensive back work. Maybe. I don't know. It's just an idea.
Yeah, I think more of that question was answered with Sage Ryan and what they did with him, moving him from safety to actually working with corners every day. I think that was their solution to the lack of depth that corner with. Obviously, this all is predicated off the Denver Harris suspension, not suspension, go home for a beat.
Yeah.
So that's
I'm just talking about the future.
Yeah. But they're going to be. LSU has always done a good job of bringing in corners, so I think they'll be fine. You have Ashton Stamps, who's a freshman, who's going to be there for the next 3 years. You have Taviano, who's a freshman, who's going to be there for the next 3 years. Terrence Welch, sophomore, who's going to be able to play at corner for the next 2 years. So I think they're fine in that position. And Kyprien will, with the bodies that are probably going to leave wide receiver after this year, he'll be able to work his way in at that position, and he'll be pretty good.
I hope. I mean, we don't know. We know he's athletic.
Yeah,
we don't know if he's going to be pretty good or not.
I trust those guys from the St. James pedigree that wore number 7. They kind of do that same deal that LSU does, where he was like the next one up after I forgot who it was, but he went to Alabama, and he was an LSU lean, and then he ends up at Alabama. But he's in that next line of like.
I imagine he's going to be good. He's a great football player. I'm just saying it could be an option, right? You see like the transition from wide receiver to cornerback happens pretty frequently. You don't usually see a cornerback moving to wide receiver. You just see a wide receiver moving to cornerback. And so
Russell, Sherman. Richard Sherman.
Yeah, I named 3 of them other ones that came out of LSU that did the same thing. Yeah,
I was just thinking that's more recent, I guess. Mo Claiborne's in that same vein. But like that's what I'm saying, from wide receiver to corner is usually how it goes.
Yeah, so it was just an idea. It's just, you look at the depth. You have Kyle Park and Jalen Brown, who are both freshmen. They're going to be there for a long time. You have Shelton Sampson came in. Like, that was a really good receiving class that came in last year. And so, you bring in Aaron Anderson, who's going to be there for another 2 years. So, it's just an idea. If it happens, then we can look back and say, damn, you were right. If it doesn't happen, then we just won't revisit it anymore.
Yeah, just get buried in the takes.
That's how it works. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped about what we should see. And then obviously you go to the defensive side of the football. Zai Alexander's a starter, right? Like, you can pretty much mark that in there. Like, he's going to start opening the first game of the season at one of the cornerback positions. And then Deuce Chestnut, as of now, you probably imagine he's going to be on the other side for game 1 against Florida State. And Ashton Stamps has moved his way up to the number 3 spot. Denver Harris right now is listed as number 5 on the depth chart in the cornerback position. That's probably because he is not on the field right now, and can't put him higher on the depth chart if you don't know if he's going to play. That's how that comes down.
5's closer to off the depth chart than it is on the depth chart.
Maybe move to wide receiver.
Yeah, no, don't think that's gonna happen.
Work that way.
Don't think that's gonna happen.
He's gonna be wide out.
Left out. Mm-hmm. J.K. Johnson, lower leg fracture, not good. Out, probably going to be out for the year, I'd imagine.
Yeah. I don't think that's a secret. If it's not going to be with the first 6 weeks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about the year, but he's going to miss significant time, though.
Yeah, right.
It came out in that report that it's a fracture, so it's not like we're.
Oh, not breaking news.
Yeah, we're not breaking news here, but it was considered a lower leg injury up until pretty much this week.
Well, it is lower leg.
Yeah, it's a hockey player injury.
It is lower leg.
Extremity.
Is that what that is, a hockey injury?
Yeah, anytime they're in the playoffs, it's always listed as upper body or lower body. They don't tell you what's actually wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think people want to know, to be honest.
Well, those guys will play with a broken leg.
Yeah, I think that's
play
hockey
with a broken
protecting.
everything.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. The hockey players are.
They're as close to UFC fighters
Yeah,
as a kid.
different breed. Dude. It's, I mean, the stories I've heard from guys playing hockey.
Yeah.
Those skis can only get so tight.
I mean, a guy got slashed in the face with a skate one time and came back on the ice. Like,
There's a
20
guy-
minutes later. Stitch me up, coach. I'm here.
Yeah, there's a guy that got hit in the face during the playoffs last year. That
with a frozen piece of rubber.
I think he got like 35 stitches in the locker room, came out and played in the third period.
Think about that. If you picked up if you've never felt a hockey puck,
Knuckle puck.
Heavy.
it is heavy and it's dense with rubber.
Yeah.
Now, imagine
Now
that
put it in the
frozen.
freezer.
Yeah, imagine that frozen and just sitting on ice the whole time and getting smoked in the face with
And
it.
it's coming at you at 115 miles an hour.
Well,
Hey.
that stinks.
And these are the same guys that in the playoffs they'll slide in front of it to help stop a goal from
Oh, yeah.
happening. And like, I'll help the goalie out. Like they'll just fall flat in front of somebody shooting and just take it off the chest.
I mean, football put more protection over your face. Hockey, they've taken less.
Oh, it's considered like you're not a man if you got face
If
protection.
you got face protection on, you're doing something wrong because you're getting made fun of.
They made it mandated in hockey that you have to wear like the visor unless you were an old school guy that came in.
Oh, grandfather
Unless
in.
you're
You got
yeah,
grandfathered in
yeah.
to not have to wear it because they.
It's like a running back wearing the one bar.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just gonna wear the one bar and like I may get a fist to the face, but that's okay. I like it because I
I
have
got
more
good
vision.
vision.
I got a good vision.
That's like what Antonio Brown tried to do, and then that started the demise of Antonio Brown when he couldn't get with the helmet program.
Then he drop kicked somebody in the middle of the
Oakland.
field, and then
Well, that was way before. Right?
That was still a
That's
star
true.
trek.
That was pre-Vontez Burfict, so like he was,
Yeah.
he was
yeah,
still
that's
okay.
true. That's before Vontez Burfict rattled some stuff going up in there, and
brought back some memories, I guess.
then he bankrupted his arena. Was it an arena football team or was it a?
Oh, it's been. I mean, it's.
What team was he on that he bankrupted because he didn't pay anybody?
I think it was an arena football team.
Yeah, he bought it and then promoted himself to wide receiver, then cut himself, then quit, and then didn't pay for anybody else on the team to play. Bold strategy.
Bold stride did not work out for him.
No. Where is he now?
You know,
He can still do it. You see him
Around.
catch that football whenever he was rapping at Coachella?
Yeah, how's the rap career going for
I
him?
don't think great.
I don't know.
He hasn't released anything.
I feel like at this point it's better news if there's no news on him right now.
Last
You're
I
right.
saw,
That's a very good point.
last I saw, he was commenting on the Adam 22 situation. He's trying to be next. You want to get in there? He's a big Snapchat guy.
Search bar.
Search
bar.
I mean, shoot your shot.
Diabolical.
It's radio silence since then.
Oh,
With
my
it being
goodness.
listen, I don't know if y'all have noticed, like during the course of this week, it's been like the mornings have been pretty crispy. Like they've been nice. They felt good. It feels like you had a little bit of that fall, and then now it's gotten a lot hotter. This weekend there's gonna be highs of 102, 103, 104. It's gonna be a little dry. The best way to cool yourself off is to have crack open a nice ice cold Heineken Silver. Heineken Silver is 95 calories, very light, very easy to drink. You can drink a few of them and not feel like you're really full. It's 4% alcohol, so you can drink a lot and not get super drunk. And it's nice and refreshing. Listen, the best thing about beer at this time of year, it refreshes you, it cools you off when it's hot. And then when it's cold outside, it still goes down smooth and it stays colder longer. So that's even better. So there's really there's no off season for a good beer. There's just none. Right? And Heineken Silver is one of those beers. You see them promoting themselves a lot on with commercials and around any grocery store. Give them a shot. They're really good. Lloyd has been instrumental in the sales
Brand ambassador.
of Heineken Silver, and I've enjoyed it. I've thoroughly enjoyed drinking the Heineken Silver that I have been provided with. So it'll be in our tailgate mix. Give them a shot. Heineken Silver, 95 calories, 4% alcohol. Proud partners of Mik'd.
I might need to bring a couple to this Biloxi trip this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Help the
Yeah,
boys.
so-
I don't know if that's expected of me anymore. It became quite the. Lloyd will just bring Heineken
When are you leaving?
this afternoon.
I have some of that crib if you'd like
I might
to.
swing through.
Want to swing through and get a few cases.
Might be the play.
That may be the play. Have y'all?
It's usually like currency for me. I don't have to pay for like a place to stay. If you bring, 8 cases of beer, they're like, sleep on the floor. You're good. You're good.
True. Sleep in your car.
Ugh.
You've done that before.
Oh yeah, that's like the third worst place I've slept.
Third worst.
Third
Sometimes
worst?
the car's not terrible.
That's not bad then.
I've slept in the car before.
Yeah, of course.
On?
What?
Like, did you keep it on?
On no, but it was cold outside, so.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I've been to
Like not like freezing to where like damn, I'm gonna be miserable, but like cold to where like I'm comfortable actually. I can put a little blanket on, I'm good.
You were prepared to sleep in the car.
It was more like a nap. It was more like a nap. Like
I'm thinking I've had to sleep in the car for like a good 5 hours, where you're just like, this is miserable.
I had a friend of mine was they're going on a road trip. It was him and 2 other guys, and they were driving back, right? And they had to split the drive. And my friend was driving first, and they were all hungover, and they were like, miserable. And they did the whole, we're going to leave early in the morning, or no, late at night. I think that's what it was. We're going to leave late at night to get back. Maybe they were going to the away game. And so they're driving, and everybody passes out probably for the first 10 minutes of the car ride.
A lot of energy going into the drive. Then you get to actually driving.
30 minutes in, they're out, like snoring. He's exhausted. He pulls over, and he's like, all right, it's time for y'all to drive. I've been driving for a few hours. They wake up, drive in there. He goes to sleep the whole trip. He drove for 30 minutes. I was like, that's the greatest. They were so tired. Like, they didn't pay attention.
They didn't know, yeah. It's like when you wake up when you get on a plane, and as soon as you get, sit down, you fall asleep.
I do that all the time.
And you wake up, you're like, damn, we hadn't even left yet. And you think you're going to wake up and you're going to be, we're here. And it's like, no, dog, we haven't even made the turn on the tarmac yet. That's brutal feeling. My move is to crack a Heineken Silver as soon as you get in the car. Nothing expected, can't drive, sorry. Took myself out the running.
That's a good strategy.
It works.
Just don't get on behind the wheel.
That's what I can.
Then you're incriminating yourself.
Yeah, no, I literally can't drive.
What's y'all's opinion on the Colorado kerfuffle that they had?
I mean, I'm 100% on it.
I guess not the kerfuffle, but like the response.
I'm on the response of what he said.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand. It's not necessarily saying you got to go in and throw all the blows, but like you have to be a part of it.
Defend your boys.
Because what if the other side is all a part of it and they all throw blows, and now you've left your boy and or your boys by themselves? That just can't happen, right? Like you are a brotherhood, you are a team, you are together. You have to do things together to be able to go places together, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
So like I'm all about it. Like I don't think people understand. Deion isn't necessarily saying, hey, all 53 or however many is on a college roster needs to be in there throwing punches. It's not the conversation. But fight goes on, you shouldn't be walking away from it, basically.
Listen, the example I can give, right, is if there's a benches clearing brawl, right, in baseball, if you do not leave the dugout or the bullpen, you get fined by the team, right? If you do leave the bullpen or the dugout and you're on the field, you get fined by Major League Baseball, right? But I would rather get fined by Major League Baseball, than get fined by my teammates and my team and say, hey, you got in a fight, and I'm not going to come to your defense. Or because if you look at those fights, not very many people are throwing punches or doing a lot of different things, but they're out there. It's a lot of that. It's just you need to back up your boys, right? And even if you don't really agree with why they did it, you can have that conversation behind the scenes, but you do not want to be that one guy that looks like, damn, this guy did it. I'm just going to chill in the dugout. Like, I don't really care about it, whatever.
There's another part of it, too, when it comes to football, and football specifically, right? Like, if you sit there and watch how physical and how nasty hockey is and a hockey fight happens, and people pretty much just let it happen, right? There is a super physical, super ultra competitive side of football that I think people are forgetting is real, right? And they think like, hey, it's like, hey, are you okay if I tackle you right here? Let me grab you and let's just go to the ground. No, it doesn't work that way. So when you got guys leaning on each other all day and something kind of like that breaks out, like, it takes a mean streak. It takes a mindset to play the game. And sometimes that spills over into the kerfuffle, right? When those happen, we can't have people running away from it because you just never know where it's going to go. No. You know, right. And that's what you don't want is for it to blow up and no one's there to kind of stop it, if you will. You know, and that's kind of where those things go.
No doubt. I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, I love his response to it, and I think that, look, Deion's been around football a long time. Sports. a long time, right? Not just football. He played baseball. And so he understands that. He understands not that, hey, you need to fight, but he understands what comes behind it, like the camaraderie.
Well, he understands family,
chemistry,
you know?
family.
Like if I walked out of this place right now and my brother was standing across the street and I walked out and I saw him fighting and I just said, you know what, I'm gonna go the other way. That's probably not okay, right? I don't even have to know what's going on, but I need to be
and
there.
He could be at fault, but
I need to be there.
Exactly.
And that's what he's saying. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, fight goes on, you going the other way. Can't happen that way.
Cannot happen.
It just can't.
You got to jump in the water and swim towards the fight.
Yeah, it just can't.
Like in Alabama.
There you go.
What?
You see that?
The Mississippi. It was Mississippi.
Mississippi? Yeah, where they.
Oh, you never seen the Mississippi Brawl?
No. Oh, yours?
No, hell no.
Oh.
Wait, yo.
I thought you were talking about like benches clearing, but like, what do you?
No. Just do me a favor. When you leave here today, go to your Twitter or X or whatever you refer to it as in your head still. Go to your search bar and just type Mississippi Brawl. Brawl. I promise you, don't ask anything else. You will see everything you need to see because there is nothing else that's going to come up but.
Here's my exactly. How have you not seen this?
I don't know how you haven't seen this.
I may have seen it.
No, you know.
You would know.
You would know. I promise you,
Man took off one shoe.
Speaking of X or Twitter, like
threw his hat in the air, poof, gone.
Jumped in the water.
Yeah,
do they get in trouble? Like, does Elon Musk get upset with people when they say tweets? Like, what are you supposed to call it?
I've been thinking about this in the car a lot. Because, like, when you listen to, like, a podcast or whatever, like,
just in the car?
Yeah.
Let me guess. You listen to McAfee, and he made a comment about it, and is that what brought it up?
No, I was thinking because I was listening to Pardon My Take, and they always talk about how they're, like, live on the internet and they have to tweet all the time. And then I was like, well, some people are, like, trying to call it X, but there's been no replacement for tweets.
Like, it's not X's.
Right. XOXOs. Like, what do you? Like, there's no way to call it anything.
If it's called X, what is the
X message?
That sounds dirty.
I know.
Like tweets. I mean, Twitter and tweet. Like, it's just
that's the verb for. That's what it is now.
Yeah, you send a message.
And he changed retweet to
or
repost.
You post to repost. So it's a post, I guess.
See, but that sounds very.
I
like
guess if you post on X. Oh,
that's
Facebook.
Post.
That's on X.
Yeah. No.
I don't like post.
I don't like X. It's just Twitter and the bird.
I don't know how to do it.
Do you see the creator of Venmo? He's trying to live forever.
What?
Have you seen this guy?
I mean, with modern technology, I don't see why I couldn't live to 140, 150
Wants to live to 200.
Old. Who is the creator of Venmo?
I want to say Mark Johnson.
How do you do that? How does he do that? How does he plan?
He has a blood bank of like 18-year-old boys that he does blood transfusions
Jesus,
with.
that's weird.
Yeah, he is weird. He puts all of it on Twitter or X, and he puts like his daily regimen of how he lives. And
so he does that every day. He like puts blood in his body.
I don't know if he does the blood every day, but he has very stringent of what he does every day to be able to live to 200.
How old is he right now?
I think he's 56, and they said all of his whatever inside your body, like all of his measurements and like blood tests, he is technically 18 on the inside.
Wow.
18.
Who says that though?
Doctors.
Doctors that he pays, or like?
No, he goes and he puts all of this stuff on the internet. Like all of his legit blood sources and everything, all of his tests that he runs, it's bizarre. His bone density.
18 at 56. Good for him.
I guess.
How does he look?
He looks like he's made in a lab. He looks like his
I'm looking
skin
up. What's
is
his
fake.
name?
I mean, just type in creator of Venmo. He sold it to eBay for $800 million. And then he got obsessed with himself.
Andrew Cortina?
No. It's a normal name.
That didn't sound too not normal.
No, I'm saying it's like very generic.
Wow.
John Graham?
Oh, God.
I don't know who it is. You're supposed to help me with that.
I got you. Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson.
$2 billion a year on anti-aging equipment.
Brian Johnson.
I'll pull up a picture of him.
Yeah.
It is.
Because I'm not looking at the right thing. Wow. Well, bold strategy. I won't be here, I don't think, until he lives to 200. So,
who would you know?
That's do you want to live that long?
Fuck no.
I guess if you're living like a high quality of life. I mean
if I'm living like that age,
200, it's a lot. Yeah. 200 years old.
Oh, my grandmother was 99 years old when she died, and she was like, I don't know anybody. Everybody.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, she was actually kind of proud of it. She's like, oh no, he's dead. She's dead. Like, gave up. Like,
it was
some sort of competition.
Could you imagine being 200? People like, hey, man, how you doing? I'm Brian Johnson. How old are you? When did you graduate high school?
Yeah. Who do you know here?
Man, I'm
176.
I'm 157 years old. Damn, you look like you don't look
Look a day over 100.
You look like you're 157. Think about that.
Huh?
You are outliving your kids. You're outliving your grandkids, probably. Definitely.
Yeah.
This is before and after.
Before and after what?
Before he started his regimen.
So is he gonna?
Did he have plastic surgery done?
No,
Is he gonna regrow facial hair? Like, does that come back around
No,
again?
I think it's bad for his skin, because he has to do all of these like radiation treatments on his face, and
But you don't think that radiation stuff is going to like?
it's backed by science. His science.
That's crazy. I mean, he looks way younger. He looks like a
He
different
does.
person.
I mean, he does.
Wow.
He's onto something.
He paints his fingernails though.
He can do that. It's probably
He
good
can
for
do
his
that.
cuticles.
You can do that. He looks like
He looks like he's from the future.
the guy from Thor. What's his brother's name?
Oh,
Loki.
Loki.
He does look like him.
Loki looks
Doesn't
like
he?
Loki.
He does look
Loki
like
looks like Loki. Wow.
Who would you rather wake up next to?
Okay, so he has not had any plastic surgery done.
No, it's all like skin, anti-aging, like red lights that he
$2
uses.
million a year on that.
Yeah, more than LeBron.
So I think you took my question wrong when I said can he, like, I'm not saying does he want to grow facial hair? Can he grow facial? Like, does it actually still grow?
Oh, you think he's prepubescent now?
Yeah, like that's what I'm asking. Like,
I don't know.
Like if he doesn't shave for 5 weeks, like
Does
is
it
there
come
is
in?
there hair there or not?
I think it's like, is it your like his hormonal level is extremely high now too. He was talking about his erection routine. I got really into this.
What? There's a routine to it?
It's
guy-
Oh, we on our Joe Rogan kick right now, bro.
We went down a rabbit hole.
This is the Joe Rogan kick right here.
He works out a ton.
What?
As he works out a ton. He works out for like 8 hours some days, and then other days
So he doesn't work anymore. He just does this.
This is his work.
I mean, Coach, he's a billionaire, so
Yeah,
800 million.
800. But I think he's made more because he's trying to sell this like as this is a lifestyle, and he made a whole
Wow,
website.
interesting. I'm gonna do some more research on
I
that.
fell into it yesterday, and it was probably an hour.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
so
No sex after 8:30. Can't have another meal after 11:30 a.m.
What?
He has biohacked what the human body actually needs and put it into its own meal. It's very interesting. It's forgot what he eats, but it's something crazy, and he takes it with a shot of liquor every morning. It's good for
Liquor?
your heart. Yeah.
liquor?
3 meters.
Liqueur or liquor?
Liquor, alcohol.
What does he? Can he grow facial hair?
I don't know.
Okay. Anyways.
Can he grow facial hair?
Anyways, let's move on to some sports conversations.
Sure.
There's really not many sports conversations
What
to
do we
be
have
had.
in preseason football besides the Saints this weekend?
Well, I mean, for the week or like
Weekend.
what happened yesterday?
No, the weekend coming up.
The weekend.
Yeah,
The weekend.
on the horizon.
The preseason schedule is as follows. Giants Panthers play tonight, and the Bengals Falcons play tonight. I don't know, is Joe Burrow he's not going to be playing. What am I asking? He's not. He's not
He's still
gonna
got
be
the
there.
calf, and they said
I can tell you the one thing I have
enjoyed.
enjoyed so far about preseason. I mean, if there's wood to knock on, I don't know if there is. As far as for games, practice, and everything, it's been shockingly healthy so far.
What?
Preseason NFL football, where
Oh,
it
yeah.
hasn't been like soon as practice started, just do, just going down, and like
Yeah.
year. So
Now that you say
I'm
that.
praying and hoping that it stays that way. Cause
So the game that's going to be televised on NFL Network is going to be Carolina at New York, right? So I'm actually pumped to watch it because I want to watch Bryce Young play again.
right.
He's going to be out there. It's the division of the Saints. I'm actually excited to watch the Giants play because the Giants felt like they took a huge step forward last year, right? Danny Dimes.
They got some sneaky
doing
dudes
his
there
deal.
this year
Like
too.
they have some dudes there, right? Like they kind of felt like their defense played a lot better. Feels like they're kind of getting back to the old Giants. And then you obviously have the Bengals at Atlanta. Joe Mixon was in the news for some stuff that had happened, and the charges got dropped and this is the charge that was, or actually not dropped. He was found not guilty for menacing. I don't know what that means.
Being a menace?
Well,
But that's like menacing.
if there's
He
anyone
found
on this,
not guilty of menacing, that is a legal term.
if there's anyone on this panel that has a
History?
possibility that might know what it means, let's go ahead and swing it that way.
Uh-huh.
For our legal expert,
Like that's not like I know what a menace is, but
to
like
society.
I didn't know that was
You ever seen the movie?
You drinking juice?
in South Central.
Oh.
The threat to kill.
Menacing is the intentional communication of information that is the commission of a crime of violence. So it's like kind of like threatening people,
Okay.
but you don't actually do anything.
Well, that's what a threat is technically.
Yeah.
Menace.
Yeah.
Oh, the
who?
kids? The
Yeah.
kids in the yard?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they just horsing around.
He just
Get off my lawn.
guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Except his hand's not empty.
Yeah. Well, he probably was empty, but it was empty threats. Empty threats, maybe.
Yeah,
Found
just
not guilty.
Having fun.
Found not guilty. But the Bengals, I'd imagine that they're not going to have a ton of starters play in that game. They're playing at Atlanta. That's another division opponent for the Saints. So, if you want to go and do your self-scouting as a fan, go ahead and look at what they've got. Desmond Ridder is there. They have, their wide receivers are nice.
Name the other quarterback for Atlanta.
Who is the backup there?
Taylor Heineke. He may be the starter.
Could be.
No.
He may be the starter. Taylor Heineke's got some magic to him, man.
He's not starting this year unless Ritter gets hurt.
I know.
Hey, the Green Genie still got a little juice.
So
Taylor Heineke almost beat Tom Brady in the playoffs. And then Logan Woodside's the third string.
whatever.
So I would not bet on Atlanta.
No. So most of the preseason games this week are on Saturday. You got a huge slate on Saturday. Everything is on Saturday, really. And the Saints are the only Sunday game, which is great, 6 p.m. on NFL Network. And then Monday you got Baltimore at Washington on ESPN. It's like I guess this is the first preseason game for the ESPN crew, right?
Yeah.
This is their
It's preseason for them too.
Yeah, their dress rehearsal.
Who's it?
Washington just named
Their team?
their starting quarterback. Who they name?
Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, Sam Howell from UNC.
Rumbling, stumbling,
So Sam
fumbling,
Howell got
bubbling.
got the starting job in Washington. He was supposed to have his monster year at North Carolina. Super talented, didn't have it. Was supposed to be a first rounder, wasn't a first rounder, but
The Howitzer.
he's there. He's the
Did.
starting quarterback at Washington. After the first preseason game, Ron Rivera gave the game ball to the new owner, so they have a new look in Washington with the Commanders.
Yeah, Ron Rivera better keep giving game balls to the owner because he's about to get FIRED.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
You think
No
so?
doubt. Yeah,
Why?
they're changing everything. They're going to change the name, change the.
But Ron Rivera's not.
Ron Rivera was there to keep it stable while Dan
that-
Snyder was running amok.
for sure, because Ron Rivera's complete opposite
Yes.
of.
Somebody you can look to and be
Yeah,
like,
now
all right, he's stable.
if they go out and have a good year, he's there.
I think they're tanking.
No matter we've had this conversation before.
Yeah, they
No
did.
NFL team tanks. Can you just get that in your head? They don't tank.
Over/under wins for Washington.
It doesn't matter. They're not tanking. They're gonna go out there and try to win. With Sam Howell, scary. Like those guys are trying to win football games. They're not tanking.
Do you see the reports of Eric Bieniemy and the Washington football team? He was hired as their offensive coordinator in the offseason. And the reports are they don't like the way he talks to me. He's too mean.
Coaches them hard. But it doesn't mean they're tanking.
I'm saying a lot of things already coming out.
I'm not saying he's not gonna get fired, but if they have a good season, I'd imagine he gets another year or two, and they're not tanking is not a thing in the NFL. Tanking's not a thing in professional sports. Maybe there've been in the history of professional sports, maybe 6 or 7 teams you can look at in the history and say, "Oh, they were tanking."
The only way tanking is really a thing is literally by what people. If you've ever seen the movie Major League, that's the only way tanking is like truly possible. Meaning that like the front office is not doing what they should be doing to give the things that the team needs to actually
Yeah.
perform at their best.
Right.
But when it comes down to in the coach's office and in the locker room, there's no such thing as tanking.
No such thing. The guys that are on the field are not tanking.
But not just that. Yeah, exactly. Even guys, literally, on the field, on the sideline, not tanking because even as a coach, like, hey, if we don't win here, I might get fired here. You know, like that's kind of the way it goes as a player. If I'm literally trying to lose here, I might get hurt and or fired here.
And if I don't look good on film and I do get fired, then
I might not get a job again.
Another job somewhere. If it looks like I was tanking, my career in the NFL is over.
Yeah.
That's
so
basically how it goes.
When it comes down to that, like that's the only like true like real form of tanking that there actually is. Comes from a front office.
Agreed.
Much like sometimes I think front offices, like a lot of front offices, not I think, I know front offices a lot of times will be. They're punting for there's a team in the league right now who is, as soon as this thing is kicked off, that front office is already punting for 2024. They made moves, they made draft picks, they made free agent acquisitions and or releases to be able to clear up space, to be able to make things happen for next year because they feel they have a better window next year than they do this year. Like that happens as well.
Yeah, for sure. But the guys that are on the field are going to try to win. And sometimes when you do that and the guys on the field end up outperforming what you anticipate, then it really backfires on you.
Yeah.
Right? With the new regime, the new ownership there in Washington, I would imagine that they are not trying to tank. Like they have to have a save face type of thing. But yeah, so this is week 2. There's one more week of the NFL, and then it's it, right? And then it's back to its regular season time. When is the first regular season game?
I think 3 weeks. I think we're like 20 days away.
Is it?
Yeah. That number sounds right. I think we're about 20 days away from the first regular season NFL game.
Week 1. First game, Thursday night football, Detroit at Kansas City on September 7th.
There is a
– So it's the week after, so Thursday after the college football season.
That's another team I personally think, like if we are being honest and we sat here and said, man, the Saints got a chance to be one of the teams that comes out of the NFC because the NFC's not super strong.
Short 2.
Man, how can you not be looking at Detroit and being like, bro, they got a chance. I'm just saying.
They do. So you have
Jared Goff but Goff is better than you think.
Goff played a lot better. I think Goff is better than people think. He played a lot better last year. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown is
very good.
Really good. They have,
You throw Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield there. There's another running back.
They lose both their running backs, their starters. They lose Swift and Jamal.
One to free agency, one they traded away.
Yep. And then so you get Jahmyr Gibbs.
And somebody else. They brought somebody else in. And it was a pretty solid name.
Their wide receivers are solid. Defense is played a lot better
They
last
still have
year.
Jamison Williams, who you really didn't see play last year.
He's
right?
suspended.
No, he's not. He's hurt, though. He's not going to play at all in the preseason. But he's not suspended.
Was he suspended last year?
I think it was last year.
It was last year?
Maybe. I'm almost sure. And if he is from that gambling, was he that gambling stuff maybe? If he is, it's not like long. But I know he's going to play. I actually think it was last year.
I don't know. Let's find out. He's on reserve suspension, yeah. So he's suspended.
He's going to play this year.
Yeah, he's going to be on the field. He's not suspended for the whole year.
Yeah.
But
First 6 games, he's out.
First 6?
There you go.
There you go. That's probably why he can't play in the preseason then, too. Yeah.
But yeah, obviously I'd imagine them go out there. It seems like the Rams are going this way, going down. We'll find out this weekend.
I feel like the Rams, and it is crazy too because they're one of those teams that has, because the quarterback situation is a good player. Like you could see them being 12-5 or being 7-10.
Yeah,
like you can see that
their defense is really good.
Yeah,
their defense is kind of their strong point right now, their strong suit. So we shall see.
I mean, you can see what happens whenever you say "fuck them picks" and you go all in to win a Super Bowl. The window closes very quickly after that happens, where they are one Matt Stafford injury away from what happened last year.
That's the big key is if you have a couple guys go down and you get injured, it becomes very tough.
Yeah, you lose in Odell Beckham.
Then you flying Baker in on a Saturday and let him start on Sunday.
And winning games.
And winning games, too.
Just put him in 2 minutes. Let him cook.
That's it. Don't think. Just play.
Play, please. Just go play.
Baby.
Everything you used to say.
Not in my back is killing me. It's killing me.
Upper body injury.
It's tough. Upper
Hockey
body
tough.
injury. Yeah, hockey tough. I'll play through it, though.
I bet.
I'm going to play through it.
Good posture.
Yeah, well, I'm doing this to stretch it out.
But don't sleep on Stetson Bennett, the fourth. Been lighting it up in preseason.
I'm asleep on him.
Heir apparent.
Yeah.
I think he's older than Stafford.
He might be.
Hey, honestly, I would not be shocked if he is a starter there.
If they get to being terrible, they may just.
I'm not talking
start
about this year.
I could see it
But
happening
maybe,
this year.
But like after, like whenever Stafford's done. Now, he's old. Like Stetson's old.
He's ready.
So like it's not like if you don't want him to sit behind the starter for a few years and become 30 before he's. A starter.
I don't know, man. Like they didn't pay him. Maybe he could sit behind the starter for a couple of years.
Be the backup. He's happy with that.
He's on a very, very cheap contract. They didn't pay him.
Stetson's happy about that.
These days, you can play quarterback until you're 52. So like, maybe.
He just got athletic in like the last 2 years. He just hit his prime.
Yeah, you can tell.
Some
He
people
had the
peak
glow up.
later
He had
than
time to
others.
really glow up in college, which is crazy.
Some people
Crazy.
peak later than others.
That's right.
NIL, bro. NIL money helped a lot. He's on that.
Kept him out of law school.
He's on that Brian Johnson train right now. Apparently.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He does need new blood.
Let's. All right.
He is their only backup, though. They have in Brett Ripon. So it would go next to Stetson.
Is it Ripien or Ripien? Is it Ripon?
Ripon?
Ripon.
Ripe for the picking?
All right.
The Wild Woman?
What?
The Rippin' and the Tearing? Ever seen that video?
I probably should live on the internet more than I do.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Why?
I mean,
For
what do you talk about? You don't know about
I'm on the internet for the stuff that I talk about. I'm not on the internet looking at the nonsense that you look at.
the Montgomery Brawl?
I don't know anything you're talking about.
You don't know what he's talking about?
That's what I said.
The what?
The Montgomery Brawl, where the kids swam across.
See, everybody and their mother knows about
The
it.
guy throwing a fucking chair at everybody's head.
Yeah.
Don't see it.
He went stone cold in the fucking atmosphere with a chair on everybody.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, like you'll know if you saw this.
You just want me to pull it up for you?
No,
I want to get your live reaction.
Show me.
All right.
There is no. I think I saw this. You definitely saw
You
it.
know.
I'm telling you, I did not see it.
There's like 3 minutes from multiple angles, like the video.
Oh, it's
like,
3 minutes. I'll watch it off there.
No, I got a TikTok of it.
I sent y'all one. I sent you a ticket. It's pretty funny.
This one white lady fell.
You gotta send me this kind of stuff then.
Dude's diving in the water to get away from the fight. Like it's
You gotta send me
funny.
this. If you want me to see it, you gotta send me this.
It's
I mean,
outrageous.
it ended racism.
The poor white lady fell. She sit on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Chair right to the head.
That was the one guy that's probably going to get arrested in this whole
Yeah.
situation. It was the finisher.
Finisher.
It was unbelievable.
I literally have no idea what y'all are talking about.
I can't believe you don't know anything about this.
I feel embarrassed.
You
I'm
should.
You should. Yeah, this is an
You
old.
should.
This is an old moment.
When did this come out?
It's- it's 2
don't-
weeks
It's
old.
like 2 weeks old.
Okay, so
No, it's.
If you're on social media,
Yeah, bro. People have you. I'll tell you this. It was so outrageous.
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks
No.
ago, I think I was busy.
No,
I
hear
was
me when I
doing
say
that.
this. It was so outrageous that I promise you've seen someone either post a story and or a joke about it, and you didn't know what the joke was because you didn't know the video. Like that's how outrageous this fight was. It's a melee. It's a Royal Rumble
the guy throws his
on the
hat,
dot.
summons
See,
everybody to
this is what I miss about not being in a baseball clubhouse anymore.
Oh yeah, you'd have known it in an instant.
Because when I'm in the baseball clubhouse, you live on your phone, you live on Twitter, you live on Instagram, you live on the internet. Now that I'm not in there and I have to do real world stuff and I'm like not necessarily as much on my phone, I feel like I'm missing this kind of stuff. I don't like it. Baseball, I felt like
never saw the video.
baseball at 32, I felt like I was
Yeah,
22
right.
because
The
I'm around all
Avengers.
these young guys. I don't love that. I don't love that I'm not around that anymore.
I mean, the guy throws his hat up like Avengers Assemble and everybody starts fighting.
It's unbelievable.
How have I not seen this?
You're about to see it.
Are you gonna show me or no?
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to load on X. I think I'm gonna be an X guy.
How about X like having videos that are like an hour long?
Let go. Hey, I'm really proud of y'all. Montgomery.
Natty, but I feel like that got copyrighted.
Probably. I can't see. Can you make this bigger?
I can.
We should try it. Just download the whole match.
Oh wait.
Don't pretend like you've
Nope,
seen it now.
nope. I saw like the very beginning of it, and then I said I'm gonna watch this later. I never watched it. That's what happened. Because I saw the very beginning of it.
But this is just this is like a screen record. I did a short one. It's only a minute.
Oh,
Dude, that is
oh,
ass.
oh,
I'm taking names.
oh. Oh, look at this person.
Yeah,
Come out of
that's the
water.
guy that guy's famous now. Damn.
Oh. Chair to the woman? Why'd the woman get the
And
chair?
she just called. Well, I mean, anybody could get it in here. I mean, it was just a free for all, dude.
So
Everybody
everybody's
was
fighting. Oh, this other woman's trying to get in there. It's probably not a good idea.
I don't think everybody's fighting over it. I think it was a certain group.
This man.
This man swam to the fight.
Oh, oh,
He swam across the river to get in the fight.
That was
Jesus
it.
Christ!
I sent you a video. We'll watch when we're done. It's very.
I think
very
I
funny.
saw the very beginning, and then I was like, I'm gonna watch
And you
this
were like,
later.
dude, I'm good on that.
No, I was like, I'm gonna watch this later. I was like, I don't have time to sit down and watch. I need it with the volume up. That's exactly what happened.
If anything, this is a testament to Assured Partners and the work you're putting in for Frankie Harris.
Absolutely. Absolutely. With that said now, we might as well just go to the Seggies. That was a perfect segue right into the Seggies. How was that not one of your mistakes of the day?
I thought I honest to God, thought it was just going to come up naturally. And I was like, there's no way we haven't talked about, like, it would just come up in conversation. So I never put it in the document. I meant to put it as a curtain call. And I was like, oh, we'll probably talk about it, like, ad nauseum for a minute. Because how could you not? And then it just got away from me, and then it became too far away. And the fact that you've never seen it, I mean, that I blame myself. That's something that I should have brought
You should
up.
blame yourself. That's
Yeah,
your producer role is supposed to send me that kind of stuff.
I mean, we talked about it on whenever I hosted Colada. It was like the first thing I brought up. It was I led the show with it.
Hello, wake your morning up with the Mississippi Brawl.
Take a chair to the face. Good morning. Welcome in.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that viewership went real quick. Like, oh, he's hosting? You get this show, me and Stuart. We went from that to the woman on the plane that was found. So we just hit all those topics. Yeah. Yeah, she was crying.
All right. Mistake of the day is brought to you by our friends at Dozy Place. Look, it is 2:15. It's probably too late for lunch, but Friday is a great time to go in there for lunch because Friday's usually a shorter day of work. Go in there, get all your stuff done early in the day. Go get you a nice little burger and a pop.
Cauliflower bites.
And then what?
Broccoli.
The heck are you
Not.
talking about? Not maybe
Red meat.
fried broccoli.
Yeah.
No,
It's a
not.
red meat kind of day.
Yeah, it's a great place. Go give them a shot. We the vibes, especially now that football season getting closer, are gonna be immaculate. So
Great for an away game.
great for an away game. Yes, it is.
It's basically a watch party.
If you're looking for a place to go watch a game with good food, that's the place to be. All right, what's your mistake of the day?
drinks. My mistake of the day could be a curtain call. School delayed 2 hours in Baton Rouge due to drivers out sick in the public school bus system.
Oh,
So
they weren't ready. They weren't ready to start school again.
It's preseason for everybody, but they were all out sick. They're protesting low pay, and
So they were out sick or protesting?
well, you got to do both, right? You have to have the same thing with Denver Harris.
Oh, so sick.
right.
Okay.
But it's basically their
Why does Denver get a stray bullet on this one?
I'm just trying to put it in context of a
Okay.
sports conversation.
Okay.
Allegedly, it
Okay.
could be anybody. Could be me. I'm sick. Might leave now. We'll feel good. Tummy
Well, I
hurts.
like for you to finish. We're almost there.
But it's a mistake of the day because I would imagine that this has probably come up at some parent-teacher conferences right before you get to school. You go meet with the teachers, meet with the staff. Probably some rumblings about, hey, the bus drivers aren't too happy. How are our kids going to get to school? Let's push that on the back burner. First day of school, bang, 2 hours late. You have parents that are trying to get to work. You have bus drivers not showing up. You have kids that are thrilled because, damn,
Oh,
ain't
no bus today.
here.
We don't have to go to school.
Love the bus driver now. And so, mistake of the day for all the parents that thought they were probably excited. You take care of this, not my problem
dude,
anymore.
I'm not a parent yet, and that means I don't have a baby.
It's a pretty true statement.
Yeah,
I'm not have a parent yet. I would.
He
hope
intends
at some
to be
point
one.
in my lifetime I would have a child. So, but I don't have one. So I do.
That's
not,
crazy.
I'm
You're
not
so adamant about it.
parent,
Like
huh?
you're like definitely I'm gonna be.
Oh, I cannot wait. But I'm just right now. We do not have a child, and so I'm not a parent yet.
Right.
Eventually, hopefully, I am, God willing. But my friends that are parents, they are over the summer, the whole summer. They have their kids, and it's like, boy, like 12, 11, 12, like they are
You're here every day.
all day, every day. You have to it's a long, it's 3 months, long time, 2.5 months, a long time to like not have any. And now when school starts, like,
Get out of
go.
my
Now we
hair.
have like at least 8 to 3 of like relaxing, and then now as they get older, they have practices after school. And now you have 8 to 5. It's like, okay, I can like relax a little bit. That's tough.
I mean, what if you don't even like your own kid? Like
Well,
you gotta
I
spend.
mean-
I can't think of really anybody I'd spend 3 months with every day. And then you just got like, what do y'all talk about? He's like probably 20 years younger than you.
Well, you don't have to talk.
30 years younger than you.
You don't have to talk to them all day, every day.
But they want to talk to you all day, every day. Have you been
No,
around like
they
a
don't.
5 or 6 year old?
Okay, now we're talking about 5 or 6 year olds. I was just talking about a 12-year-old.
Well, they're probably worse. Now they think they know something.
They won't talk to you. They'll ignore you.
Lloyd seems very,
I know.
very, very ready for.
Doesn't
a kid.
seem like Lloyd's gonna be a parent. Intentionally.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Could be one out there.
I hope not.
They
for
probably
that
do
kid.
better. Like, don't
I hope,
call him.
I hope not for that kid. All right. Curtain call brought to you by our friends at Assured Partners. You
and
me.
Oh.
Who you so elegantly brought up in the
Yes.
segue. For all your insurance needs, call us at Assured Partners. We are there to help. All right, you want to go through it?
I'm going to go through it first. This is going to be a surprise curtain call. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a hint. I want to see if you can kind of guess who this person is. My curtain call, I'll just say it this way. So I'll give you one hint in the sense of it's being a former roommate of mine, but I don't feel like, especially over the past 5 years, the guy has gotten the love for the actual product he's put on the field. So I'll give you some stats. Since 2019, in the amount of games played, he's first. In the amount of hits he's had, he's fourth. In the amount of runs he scored, he's third, among the league, obviously. Amount of total bases he's had, he's third. And his WAR is first since 2019. Can you name this player?
Former teammate of yours?
Former roommate of mine. No. It's a good guess, though.
And not in college.
Former roommate of mine. Can you name him?
Simeon.
Marcus Simeon.
Where does he play?
I would have never gotten that.
Second
Literally
baseman.
exactly why I'm doing this
Second
right
baseman
now.
for the Rangers. He signed for like $250 million.
Marcus Simeon.
You want to sponsor the show?
He used to play.
Came up with the White Sox, traded over to the A's.
Had a
He's a
40
Bay
home run
Area
season.
guy. He's a Bay Area guy. Went to Cal, came over. He's like a fourth or fifth round pick, I want to say. Came over, drafted by the White Sox, traded to the A's, made it up to the big leagues with the White Sox, traded to the A's, traded over from the A's to actually COVID year, contract year, had his worst year in this whole little span. So he's doing this, with the COVID year in the numbers. Signs a pretty low contract for what he had done the past couple of years because he was like a top 5 MVP voter. Performer the couple like few years before that. Signs a 1-year deal in Toronto, goes ham again. Now signs a big deal.
What year did he hit the 40 homers? Was that Toronto or was that in Oakland?
I think it was Oakland. I think he had an Oakland year
40
too where
bombs in Oakland. That's incredible.
I think he had an Oakland year too where he went crazy.
Yeah.
So Toronto for a year, signs a huge contract with the Rangers, and this is year 2 of the Rangers right now.
So that's what happens. The Rangers signed him and they signed Seager the same offseason. Signed all this big free agent up the middle. Yeah. And Seager had a good year. Simeon struggled. And you'll notice this a lot in professional baseball, especially when one of these guys signs this huge free agent deal and goes to another team. His first year with that team usually is a little shaky, right?
Yep.
Lindor, same thing with the Mets. The next year he had a really good year. You had Simeon, struggled, really good year. Olsen went over to the Braves last year, didn't have his greatest year. Now he's going to be an MVP, right? That's just kind of the way it works. Just different atmosphere, different culture, different people around,
different
You
message.
Just sign this
working
deal.
with different people.
Exactly.
And like I said, remember, didn't have his best year ever in that COVID year. Obviously it's a short sample, but everyone's numbers is put into account to be able to. Didn't have that best year in the COVID year, struggled in his first year with the Rangers, and he's still, since 2019, those ranks, which is impressive.
Crazy.
It's 2019, as much as it's kind
4
of
years ago.
far away now.
Yeah.
4 years and to be number 1 in WAR and not really anybody really talking about it is incredible.
Crazy. 4
years, 175. That sounds nice.
Was that what it was, 175?
Mm-hmm. Oh, 7 years, 175. Excuse
I've
me.
heard of worse, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing just fine. Speaking of somebody that's going to be doing just fine, 2 people that might be doing just fine. Curtain call. It is now officially official. Facebook official. Paul Skeens confirms he's dating LSU gym star Libby Dunn.
It's crazy that he had to do that.
And that's what they talked about. It's kind of what the interview was more getting toward, not so much about the rumors or them dating. It's how 2 high-profile people have had to kind of deal with this. And how they came to get to. That's kind of how they got to know each other and why they hit it off so well is because of Skeens burst onto the scene and became this megastar. Livy Dunn has, and he's kind of helped me. It's because I feel like I can unload on her some of the pressure that I have living becoming a superstar in Baton Rouge, and she helped me kind of navigate the waters of how to handle it. And so that's formed a budding friendship turned relationship. I think his roommate was dating her roommate, so it's the great move by Skeens.
Great.
You do the little friend card, then you're kind of around all the time. And it's
Skeens is a great dude, man. So.
Oh yeah.
Yep. There you go. Good for them. Congratulations.
Congratulations. All the
Congratulations.
flowers.
Great. All right. My curtain call is to look on the show. We watched LSU baseball go through their run, and LSU baseball had number 1 overall pick Paul Skeens, who you just mentioned, and the number 2 overall pick Dylan Cruz. Throughout the course of college baseball, and the draft, they were pretty much the consensus number 1 and number 2 players in college baseball, most major league ready, going to get to the big leagues in no time. So,
well, there's a couple articles out there.
Yeah, a couple of them. I think they've changed their tune. But
Paul Skeens, the 6th rated prospect.
Yeah. We're not against that. But we talked about them being one of the first 1 or 2 getting called up to the big leagues, right? We said, Paul could be up there this year if the Pirates were in the playoff contention. They're not. So instead, the Angels, who have the 2 best players in all of professional baseball, and Shohei Ohtani, well, really 3 because Ohtani is technically 2 players in 1,
yep.
right?
You have to pay
and so those guys have not won anything with those top players there. They are 40 and 42. They're still, I think they're 7 games out of the wild card from the Phillies, and not the Phillies, from. I don't know who they're out. The Phillies obviously in the National League. So I don't know.
That's a complete other league.
Yeah, I don't know who they're behind. Anyway, Angels called up their 2023 first round draft pick. He was drafted 11th overall. His name
that's
is
the guy
Nolan.
from 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, 6 weeks ago. Played 40 games in minor leagues. He was in AA, having a good season. Nolan Schwanuel, first baseman from Florida FAU. He gets called up to the major leagues right now. He literally has played 40. He's been drafted for 43 days. Been playing baseball in professional baseball for 43 days. Look, they're trying to make the playoffs. I guess they think
he has not been playing for 43 days. Let's be honest. 43 days is when he got drafted, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
So I guess they're bringing him up because they think that he can help right now. Listen, I hope he does help. Congratulations to him because that is pretty impressive.
Everyone would love to be 1, that good, 2, and that fortunate of a situation.
Yeah. And look, his numbers are crazy. He had 73 walks and 19 strikeouts last year, and he hit 440. Now I get it. He's playing at FAU, so the level of competition wasn't as good as it was here in the SC, but you still got to go out and do it.
Yeah.
And congratulations to him, first player from the 2023 class to get drafted. Probably the first player from the 2022 class to make it to the big leagues, I think.
Possibly.
I don't know. I'm sure someone from 2022 has made it.
Maybe top 10.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
right. Was that 2022? Yeah, that's right. That's 2022. You're right. So, he got called up faster than most of the 2022 guys. So, congratulations to him. That's my curtain call. Great show.
What could go wrong?
Great Friday show.
Great Friday show.
Great Friday show.
You got a lot of internet to do today.
I know I do. I know.
Big internet day. Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
I take blame. I take the blame for that.
I'm sorry. All right. Well, we appreciate all of the viewers. We appreciate you tuning in and the subscribers. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The thumbs up button really helps us. If you don't watch us and you can only listen to us, or anywhere you get your pods, we will be live again in studio next Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. We'll be 1 week closer to the start. Actually, that will be the start of college football that week. That Saturday, what?
Nothing.
Okay.
Oh, you just share with the class?
No, after you're off there.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you. We love you.
We love you.
And
love you.
I want to give a shout out to everybody who has supported us. All of our sponsors, we love you too. So enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Lloyd, enjoy going up to Biloxi. Hopefully you make it there and back.
Only 2 hours from here. It's not bad at all.
No, it's not bad, but look, a lot can happen in 2 hours.
That's true. That is true. I got
So-
some Flex Fuel for the bumper, and I reapply.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, enjoy your weekend. See you on Monday.
Peace.
Peace.
Peretti.
Peretti.
Peretti spaghetti.
Whoa.
My arms and legs are heavy.